ain't nothing worse than a smart dumb.
Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo!
All right, hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the first SmartDumb Podcast in a very long time. I guess we're going to call this the new season. Very excited about this, man. New location. We got new things planned. I'm started off by a new guest, a good friend of mine. I can't even tell you how, I don't even remember at this point how far we went back. It's crazy like that. At this point, you're just like that's my guy at this point. That's just what it is. So, happy to have brought on from Phoenix and a Phoenix native, Mr. Brotha Anthony. How you doing?
How you doing, brother, man? I'm doing good. I'm actually feeling good, man. The weather's cooling down here in Phoenix. It's a lovely day, and I'm excited to have some good conversation, my brother.
Yes, sir. That's what we are going to do. And I know, Phoenix is one of them places that starts shining when we get into the fall temperatures and everybody else, that temperature's starting to drop, that rain is hitting more frequently. And meanwhile, Phoenix is getting wet these days.
And it's much needed because we had a hot summer, man, a long hot summer. So just the feeling of the coolness, man, is so relieving. Make you want to just stay outside all day, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, like I said, for anybody who might not have known, I definitely spent quite a few years in Phoenix. It's definitely the second home. I got a lot of love for the state and that city. What is it like being one of the few people to say I'm a native? Like, not only these days, but like, noticing any changes from when you were, a young man to now.
Man, there's definitely you're the unicorn if you say you're a native.
That's a fact.
When I tell people I'm a native, they look at you, they always look at you funny because it's so different. It's crazy to be in your hometown and it's different to be from here. It's just weird like that.
Right.
I was born here in '86, and both my parents were born in Phoenix. I got a grandmother who was born in Phoenix. I'm talking about we are from Phoenix. 3 generations in Phoenix, South Phoenix, West Phoenix. I grew up in South Phoenix and West Phoenix, but I'm one of the natives who left and came back. So I moved to Louisiana at 12 years old in the 8th grade, and I did most of my high school in Louisiana and Florida, and then I came back. And I haven't left since. I've pretty much been here since most of all my adult years, and it's growing right now, man. Just watching it grow from seeing how it was in the 1990s to where it is right now and to see that it's still growing, it's crazy. It's phenomenal to even be a part of it and to witness how much growth that we're going through. So I'm just trying to be involved. I'm trying to contribute and not just sit back on the sideline and look at all the things that's going on. And I'm trying to get in the mix and see what I can do, see what I can get my hands on and put something down. Because right now, it's time to build different foundations. So, and people putting their legacy and their spin on the city. So I want to pick up some bricks and put it down and see what I can do. Give me a hammer, give me something so I can go to work. So
right.
I'm trying to be a part of the progress in the city.
Right. Part of the solution, not part of the problem. That's one thing I've always respected because it's real easy. Not only that city, the DMV area out east where I am now, everybody's city. It's very easy to complain and whine about stuff. We need the people that are trying to fix whatever those problems may be. And it's okay to acknowledge them, but please be just as active in trying to restore.
That was one of the biggest things, man, is just because, we get a lot of people that come out here, they get the name transplants. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if they I think we need to ban that name, but they come out here, they're mad about what we don't have, what we lack. It's boring. We lack culture. And it was just for years and years and years, this is all we heard. Until I became an adult, it was just the narrative of Phoenix. And especially the natives, then we got sick of hearing about it. Then it became like a native versus transplant, always arguing back and forth in the group chats and the pages was going back and forth. Phoenix is whack. No, you guys are whack, go back. It was getting draining. And I think we're at a point now over the last year or two that we decided, okay, we already know what we lack. We know what we don't have. What are we going to do? You guys coming out here, what can you guys contribute? You guys are just going to sit back and complain, or are you going to bring some of your flavor? Natives, what are y'all going to do? And me being one of the natives, I said, all right, I'm not going to be going back and forth. I'm going to put in some work and set the example And now everybody's kind of pretty much, you know, either shut up or do something. Or if you're whining, it's not even cool to whine about it anymore. Nowadays, if you look on the group pages and all that, and somebody complains about Phoenix, they're gonna tell him, man, we don't want to hear that, man.
Right, they on their head.
It's not even cool. It's not even cool to complain anymore.
Right.
Because you know, right, you got the point now. Like if you're bored or if you don't feel like we have anything, then it's probably you.
It's probably your fault. Matter of fact,
because we making moves out here, man. Like things are getting better and better. You don't want to be that person complaining in the middle of progress. It just doesn't look good. So, you know, we're at the point now where it's just, man, put up or shut up, man. You know, put in some work or just go somewhere else with that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I mean, yeah, I you know, first previous comments ago, just, you know, I would think even anybody that just is now getting to know who you are, if they didn't know who you are, like the passion for change and improvement at work, like it's there. And we're definitely going to talk about how you manifest that. But even this point now about, the transplant versus, or just the, you know, the lazy versus the ones that are like, no, I'm making a way. This was even before, you know, Super Bowls came out and bowl championship series came out. And obviously the Suns just had a wonderful run to the NBA finals. Like it didn't just show up. The foundation had been there across the board. But yeah, I had also been there from those early years of just when whining about it was the way to go. And within that was where I don't remember the very first time I saw you, but within that was our poetry scene and how that evolved. And, you know, we've always had talent. That's never been a question from the beginning, from 2010 when I first attended, shout out to Home Base Poetry, when I first attended, you know, those sets, excuse me, talent's always been there, but we had way too many egos at that time. And those egos were beating, you know, and at each other's throats and at each other's heads. And then an unfortunate thing was for what? Like, what is this prize that you're even going for? Like, what are we doing this for? So I don't know. Yeah, if you want to if you don't even want to touch that and just the fact.
No, I do actually, because you know, you brought up how far we go back and we met and from poetry. That was actually, you met me in the very beginning of me getting involved in the community. And I got involved in the community. It started with poetry. Everything I do started with poetry. Okay. And you met me in the beginning of me going to Home Base. I don't even know what year. It was way back. But that was actually like my first couple times ever hitting the mic. That was my first time ever hitting the mic in Arizona. I did it one time before, like just on some random stuff in California. But my first time, you know what I'm saying, I'm a poet. I'm gonna hit the mic tonight. I met HB earlier in the week, and he pressured me to get on the mic. I told him, hey man, I've been writing poetry since a kid. I'm just not the performer type. You know, I just don't get on the mic and all that. I'm not like that. And he said, man, it's this Sunday, instead of watching, get on the mic. And I did, man. And I think that's the first time I ever saw you as well. And I became just somebody who's always hungry to get on the mic for some poetry. Right. And that led into this, and that led into that. And now I'm working with the youth, and it just led into so many things, because when I got in front of a mic and I expressed my feelings, my thoughts, and got comfortable with talking in front of people, it opened up so many doors for everything else I want to do, because I wasn't that guy to talk in front of people. I didn't even like talking in class. Right. You know, I hated to talk in front of the classroom. My hands would start sweating. You would see my heart beating through my chest. Ever since I started poetry, man, and getting in front of the mic, expressing myself, you know, it changed my life. It changed who I was, changed everything. It put me on a completely different path. So yeah, shout out to poetry, man. Shout out to just spoken word poetry, all the poets. And yeah, you're right, man. It did kind of have, we did go through a situation where there's a lot of competition, ego. And the reason why that was because Phoenix was so much of an untapped territory with so much, especially culture. And spoken word poetry is culture, let alone Black culture. That's something that we lack, was Black culture. So when you see somebody wants to be the first to do this, everybody wants to put that flag down and say, hey, I came out here to Arizona and I put the flag down, and I'm the one. I pioneered this. Everybody wanted to be that pioneer. It was people coming from different states that had experience in their city. So they say, you know what? I'm going to show them how we do it over here. And they come out here and try to put their flag down. And some of the natives were like, no, I'm going to show you guys how. It was just so much. Everybody wanted to put the flag down and be that first person to do something. And me being, because I used to always call myself a rookie. Even after 3 or 4 years into doing it, I was always say, I'm a rookie, I'm a student, yada, yada, yada. So that left me to be more of an observer type. So I would kind of sit back, because I looked up to a lot of poets and whatnot. So I didn't talk too much. I just did my thing, and I always showed love, but I always paid attention. And I just felt that everybody wanted to be, that person. And, I get it, man. I get it. We all got egos, but it started to become a problem. It was getting in the way. And, you started to see things deteriorate, unfortunately. But not with everybody, there was just a little sprinkle here and there. But that was definitely something, not even just with poetry. We could talk about entrepreneurship. Same thing. We can talk about all kinds of things, because Phoenix is such an untapped market. Everybody wants to put that flag down and be the top dog with everything. Right. It's not like Atlanta where everybody's just making all these moves, and in Houston, Phoenix is, it's scarce. So everybody wants to just outshine everybody to be that person. And that's what was taking place. And me, I was sitting back for so long, just, hey, I'm humble. I'm going to go ahead and do my little moves here and there, little moves. And then it all accumulated, of course. And here we are in 2021. And, I'm glad to say that a lot of it's kind of died down. And the people who are really serious about it and really have that passion, to contribute without the ego, those people are still around. 2021, still prevalent, still, you see them all the time. Yeah. And people who did have those problems and this and that, you don't see them that much. You know what I mean? So they kind of, that's how it worked out. You could tell it kind of weeded over time. Time weeded out those people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's 2021, and you still see people that's shining, that wasn't doing too much talking in the past. Now they are at the forefront. Right. See how that worked out.
Man, that's honestly, that's the first time I ever heard it put like that. Because, like I said, what were they competing for? They were trying to Columbus.
Yeah.
Columbus territory. Right?
It's a desert, man. Think about it, man. Phoenix, we are a desert. So you got to think about the landscape. You come into a desert, open space, open landscape. It's a canvas. Yeah. Nobody has really put so much of the expression all over it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow, you come to this state, it's a blank canvas pretty much. So everybody wants to go ahead and, put their little creativity on it. And I get it, it's okay, but when you start that ego, man, when you start putting that in the forefront, eventually it burns out, and we see what happens. We see. Looking at today, you see what happens.
And I feel like as far as people meet other people all the time, but I feel like from my perspective, what I grew to respect, or what I've respected and grew even more as I got to know you, is one. So you were born in Phoenix and spent time in Phoenix, but then you went to Louisiana, and you are a very big supporter of both. I guess you had really good experiences on both, so you represent both. You rep them a lot. You're proud, and so for me, I can speak on that. I can speak positively of Arizona. I enjoy my time in Maryland. There's basically everywhere I lived except Washington State are locations that I truly enjoy. So I'm the same. Like, I'm willing to share that with people. I get into these, into these spaces and try to, put my little mark on there. So I definitely see a commonality there. And then I guess, if that was around the time you were starting with the poetry, that was, that Home Base Legit was my first place performing. Those were the times I started getting into it. I don't know how you remember yours. Mine, I tell people all the time, I was terrible the first time, and it's okay. Like, I'm okay with admitting that. Like, it was, and I wasn't just being funny. Like, I really just wrote, like, I don't know how long, and I didn't edit nothing. And I got up on there and I read every single word that I had written down. Like,
I don't know if when I seen you, I don't know if that was your first time. I know my first time, I seen you, but I don't know if that was your first time spitting.
Okay.
I'm not, you know, I think you might have already been been going.
Done something.
I was going, but as a fan. But you know, the first time I seen you, I don't know if that was your first time.
I got you. But you know, either way, that's one thing. I mean, I own that the same way that like anybody will tell you that progress was made. And then people, I come out to Maryland and the first time they see me, they're rather impressed. It's like, yeah, man, that took work. That took work.
Yeah.
And coming right back to what you said, now I'm somebody who can share, especially people who are like completely scared to even step up. I'm like, I guarantee you it's not as bad as you put in your mind. You know, they're always like, I'm going to get booed. Like, no first timer has ever been booed at open mic I've been to. As soon as you see it, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like the whole energy shifts to like, nah, we know what you're going through. You know, some of us are never going to do this. And either way, we have respect. Do your thing. And
I mean, the essence of poetry, man, is about, you know, love, man. It's about feelings. Just that alone, you know, with somebody going out there expressing their feelings, we all know you got to be careful with people's feelings. You know, it's not like it's like the foundation of rap, but you know, rap and hip hop, you know, is different. It's one of those super duper confident kind of things. You know, but poetry, man, people know that when you're going out there, there's no beat. You know, there's really no music. It's just all raw.
Yeah,
you know,
vulnerability.
Like to show love and support, and it does take time. You got to get over the fear of being embarrassed or the fear of failing in public. You know, once you get over being embarrassed, then you're good. You know what I'm saying? You're good after that.
Right.
Once you get over that, I'm embarrassed and all that. Once you get past that, but I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The first time I was spitting, I was doing my thing. I knew I was shy and all that, but I'm one of those guys when I got more into it, especially hosting. Hey, I was one of those guys. I took a shot or two. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I took a drink or two. That always helped me out. That always helped me out, man.
Yep.
If you drink, hey, you might want to try it out.
Right. Get comfortable. But like, yeah, for sure. And I feel like I think HB seen something that you know, maybe you didn't, like part of the hesitation, like your energy, which is, you know, it is that laid back, but it still is a presence. Like it's still powerful. It still commands the room. And I think, you know, most people can't help. Like if anybody has a problem with you, they're quiet. Like nobody, and that's not because of like fear to you. That's everybody else. They're gonna be like, what's wrong with you? How do you have a problem with this guy? Like, what is, you know, so it's just like the respect level is just there. I don't know. Actually, I guess we can formulate that in a question. Like, as you've been growing up, you know, all your life, has that kind of just been something you've noticed about yourself and people as they react to you?
Yeah, man. Actually, yeah. I've always been a quiet, laid back cat. You know, and I consider myself friendly, positive, you know, optimistic. Until I'm not. I mean, I do got another side or whatever.
Relate to that.
I'm not gonna lie. But you know, I don't initiate things like that. But even as a kid just growing up, and you know, I always shout out Louisiana, as you said, where I spent most of my teenage years. That's a lot of influence, and you know, that's just an area where you just shut up. You know what I mean? You shut up, you do the work, don't complain, you don't whine, you don't start stuff with people, you know what I'm saying? You stand up for yourself if it does come down to it like that. And all of those stuff kind of just built into me in my teenage years. You know, you always want to lend your hand and all that, but don't ever let anybody talk to you crazy and all that good stuff. Right. And I think it kind of just stuck with me as an adult, get into the community stuff as well. Work with people, don't take disrespect. You know, but always have a sense of energy about you, man. It's cool to be quiet and laid back, but you still got to keep your chin up. That don't mean you got to walk around with your head down.
Right.
Just because you're quiet does not mean you're timid and meek or whatever. It doesn't, you know, you could be a quiet person, but you can still have an energy about yourself that's loud.
Right.
You know? So although I'm not always walking around talking and complaining, you can just feel an aura about yourself. You know.
Right. That's John Henry story.
Hey, that's one of my favorite stories. I don't even think we ever talked about that, but that's actually one of my favorite, might be my favorite story from back then. But you got to have, you know, energy, man. Sometimes energy speaks for yourself. You don't got to say stuff. Your energy speaks for yourself, your aura. You know, you just want to, when somebody walks in a room, they're not talking there, but you kind of feel something. That's that aura. That's that energy.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you got to lead with that. A lot of people lead with the mouth. You know, they lead with all that stuff, but I like to lead with energy and you know, good vibes. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's how I carry myself.
I feel that. I feel that. So once again, man, you've been doing fantastic segues into it, so we can go ahead into it. So, yeah, you and you'll have to tell me the year, but you have formulated a company called Useful Hands PHX, which is an LLC. So please, yeah, everything from origin story when it was founded to what you do now, whatever order, it's yours, man. We talking about your company.
So, you know, like I said, everything started with poetry. And eventually I got asked to speak at a school to some kids and did some poetry. And then a local mentorship program asked me to come talk to the kids about creative expression. They just wanted me to come in as a poet and say, hey, talking about some poetry or something, drop something. And I did it. I liked it. I said, oh, man, I know a lot more than poetry, man. And I had a connection. That's when I felt like, you know what? I want to do more with the young men. Right. So I joined the organization called Fight for Life. It's a program for young men out here in Phoenix, ages 8 to 17. And I did that I'm still with them. And eventually I wanted to do something else because that's more of a classroom setting kind of mentorship program. And I'm a country boy at heart. I like to do stuff with my hands. I like to show young men how to do stuff with my hands. So during the pandemic, when everything kind of just went crazy, when the world went crazy in the pandemic, and I'm an orthodontic assistant by trade, and I took a furlough. You know, things was crazy. I'm gonna fall back. So I said, you know what, this could be the perfect time to kind of make my vision come true that I had of teaching young men how to use their hands, how to change a flat tire, how to jump a car battery, how to fish, how to do some woodwork, how to use a charcoal grill. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and start that program during this pandemic. I'm gonna at least write it out and plan it. So during the pandemic, 2020, around May, you know, that's when I sat down and started writing down this plan. What am I gonna do? And I decided to come up with a 2-day program where I teach young men 4 different skills. So the first day, they learn auto care, and they learn how to use a charcoal grill. So we go out there, they change flat tires, they jump a battery. We talk about all the components that make up a vehicle, the fluids, everything. And then we also charcoal grill. They all get their own charcoal grill for the day. They prep their food, they cook their food, they learn how to maintain the heat. They do everything from scratch. So they walk away knowing how to use a full-blown charcoal grill by themselves. Then the next day, we meet again. We do some woodwork. I have them using different woodwork tools, and they make a planter box out of wood, and which they can take home. They paint it, and then the same day, we go fishing. I talk to them about fishing, how to put together a rod. I talk to them about the philosophy behind fishing. We talk about patience. So we talk about so many things, not just the actual lesson. We talk about so much in the time that they're with me those 2 days. Right. You know, and it's one of those things where I'm just teaching them what my dad taught me. And it's cool to be a part of a program where we teach these young boys with Fight for Life every Saturday in the classroom. But like I said, I'm a country boy at heart, man. I like to work with my hands and fix things and build things. So I wanted to do something a little different where it's just hands-on. And I started that in the pandemic, man. And I got so much love. I'm still getting love from it. I took a break because it was so hot. And it's one of those things I plan on doing forever for the rest of my life. I actually just got my first contract with an elementary school just 2 days ago, man. So
wow.
You're the first to know.
All right. Hey, exclusive.
So
Congratulations.
I'll be a special elective teacher. So Useful Hands PHX will be a part of Sonora Elementary School on the west side of Phoenix. Okay. You know, I'm excited about it because people, the city is acknowledging my program and my business. So it feels good, man. It feels really good. So I'm going to be spending more of my time working with young men because it's not just teaching them how to fix stuff and fish. I'm teaching them how to have confidence in themselves, how to get over intimidation. You might have been intimidated to work with fire, but after today, you're going to be all right. Right. You know, you might be intimidated with the car, how to change the tire, but after today, you know, you might not can't wait to get a flat tire. You can't wait to show off your skills. You know what I mean? Put some on the grill for your family. You know, and you know, it's just all about teaching these young boys and giving them a head start. So when they're grown men, they don't got to play catch up. They already got introduced to this as a kid. So when they come to my program, they're getting a head start. They're getting an introduction to these skills.
Right.
And, that's what I made it for. 2020, that's when it happened. And I also wrote a children's book as well around the same time for younger boys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, just trying to do as much as I can in my city, in this world while I'm still here. And those are two of the things I consider my legacy.
Nah, that's dope, man. That's definitely good. That's definitely good. So it's funny. I had it as years ago, and we talked about it. It was a year and change, like not even a year and a half ago. You know, and you made this happen. So you're like one of those stories, because I remember when the pandemic first started, we had these trying too hard quotes. And if you're not proving yourself, starting your LLC, we talked about this. If you haven't done anything in that time, then the problem wasn't time, it was you. And it's like, I understand what you're going for, but that is very short-sighted and very disrespectful. Now,
by the way, before you even, that's not what triggered me. There was a whole lot of that, but that ain't why I started. I didn't let that get to me. I started mine because it was actually my passion, and I already had the vision. But when the pandemic hit and I took a furlough, I had to sit down. I was at home every day. I was on daddy duty, and I had a lot more time on my hands. So I was like, you know what? I got time. I have no excuses now. Let me write up that business plan I was talking about. Let me sit down and finally write that children's book. I have no excuses, man. I can't say, oh, I'm at work all day. And I got so much time. So that was a perfect timing for me to go ahead and, sit my butt down and make that vision a fruition, man. So, but yeah, there was a lot of that pressure. A lot of people getting pressure. Oh, I got to start a business now. I got to create something. I know a lot of people's getting pressured into that. That was
Right. Again, that we know what they was trying to go for, but sometimes those inspirational quotes are a little bit too short-sighted. But with an individual like you who did have a plan, who did have some ideas, this opportunity allowed you to capitalize on it. And I mean, that actually was relevant on my side. Obviously, it was a lot of loss in general and personal loss. So like, we don't appreciate COVID itself, but the representation of how it manifests is like, you're going to sit down now. Like the more the opportunities, and even like now, even, the new offer I'm about to accept, like the fact that work across all industries is starting to become remote when possible. These are the things that, have shifted our culture. And so that's important. Now, that doesn't really, I would say, so, okay, let me ask you that. Obviously, there's a lot of in-person, that's necessary for useful hands. We're building, and you're showing these kids, they need to be right there. Have you thought of or come up with any way to maximize, I don't want to say technology, but just the fact that of a wider reach, or this isn't a good day to be outside, but this is what we can do. Like, has that evolved? Keeping in mind you're 1.5 years old, right? So,
well, I consider doing that with my children's book, man. Because when the pandemic hit, we did have to take a break with our mentoring program, with the pandemic. But I still wanted to kind of speak to young men and reach them. I didn't want to just never see young men again and pour out to them again. Because even at the time when the pandemic hit, I was volunteering at a school on the South Side, South Phoenix. And I had my own gentleman's club, pretty much a group of young men every Monday in my own classroom, and taught them how to tie neckties, taught them about this and that, just everything they wouldn't learn in regular school. And the pandemic hit, and, that kind of messed that all up. But I was like, man, I always want to write a children's book, and it'll be a way for me to kind of reach out even more, not just my city, but I could sell a children's book all over the world. And it was a children's book that also taught young men, so I can't wait to be a man. So it's a bunch of lessons in there for young men to take away and use on their journey to manhood. So I can be at home, hop on social media or the internet and talk about my book and talk about how this can impact young boys and how they can learn from it. And I did, and I'm selling the book all over the world. I mean, it's crazy. So I'm still teaching young men, and I'm still having some kind of impact behind the desk or on my phone, I could say. So I guess I could say I use technology for my passion for that as well.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. So yeah, no, we haven't like we're gonna really sit down. Like I know they just heard it on passing. Your book is entitled.
I Can't Wait to Be a Man.
Okay,
Exclamation mark.
awesome, awesome. What was the release date? Do you remember? Like when? I'm sure you. When did it? When did you put it out there? Like it's ready.
I want to say October
Okay.
2020.
Oh, okay. Wow, you did
Yeah,
that
because
late. Oh my God.
it was literally around the same time I released
Wow.
the book, and I announced my program within like a month apart.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I had that
Let
one
me tell
more
you a
recent.
little bit
Yeah.
about the book. The book was about a 5 to 6 month process.
Mhm.
So I wrote my manuscript, got all that, and I gave it to the company, D&G Self Publishing, and they worked on it, and they was done with it. And it happened to be around the same time I was releasing Useful Hands
Hey,
PHX. It was happening like that.
go. Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So yeah, here we have somebody who managed to get a company up and running and be active with that, but then but also separate. Like you are a published author. Like that's rare air. That's
It's
definitely
still kind of
rare.
weird saying it, man. It's still
Man,
kind of, like I said, man, this pandemic, of course, it was unfortunate, for a lot of people, of course,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? Lives were lost for a lot of different reasons. But
Yeah.
there was also some things where we could take advantage of, the situation. People became more self-sufficient. People tapped into themselves and found things about them they had no idea. I
Yes.
can't say that I would have been an author right now if it wasn't for the pandemic. A book was just in my head, but I can't say that I would have been a business owner right now as we speak. I can't say that.
Okay.
I started getting more into woodworking,
Mhm.
and then that led into me having all kind of woodworking jobs around the city.
Mhm.
Next
Okay.
thing you know, I'm making bath boards, I'm making champagne walls, I'm making dresses and shelves because I started doing more woodworking. People say, you know what? Can you make me this? Can you make me that? I said, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and just start this woodworking business, I guess you could say. So I became like a woodworker, man. I became like a carpenter during the pandemic. Not like a seasoned experienced one, but I did I made something shake with it. I
Yeah,
made
it was
something shake with
perfect.
it. So a
Yeah.
lot of this happened. The business, the woodworking skills, the book. It all started in the pandemic, man.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Now that's amazing, man. For real, for real. That's amazing. So I mean, here we have, somebody that's very accomplished. We have multiple situations where, people have come up and done some amazing things and maybe um just getting it done, without help or I got it out the mud or whatever the case is. I certainly don't see any situation where like, I know you have a story as well. But one thing about you that has been beneficial is you have strong support in your family, by which I mean the one you have under your own roof. You have a wife who is not only continues to be supportive and gets better at it every day, but you also have a second entrepreneur in that house,
Yep.
also building. So yeah, just what about that would you like to share, and how has that affected what you do in your day to day?
Well, so let's talk about this. The best analogy I can use is alley oop.
Hmm.
We all watch basketball. We see a brother flying in the air, get that ball and he dunk it. I'm that guy flying in the air. I
Okay.
got the ball and I smashed it, but my wife, she's the one for the most part who threw me that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So my wife, she's the person behind that alley oop, and I wouldn't have got that dunk for the most part if it wasn't for my life, my wife, man. She's, that's my co-pilot, it's my teammate.
Right.
So not only from just being inspiring each other, firing each other up, motivating each other, giving each other ideas, but she uses her skills to help me out. I use my skills to help her out. So it's kind of like, one way or the other, I don't think none of it would have happened the way as when it happened if it wasn't for my wife. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, she has a different kind of skill set than I have. She's a very administrative person.
Okay.
I'm not an administrative person. I'm the person that goes in when it's time to work, when it's time to roll my sleeves up,
Obviously,
get
yeah.
get in the mud. That's more my style. She's the more organized, administrative, the spirit. Let's break this down and all that. I'm like, man, just call me when it's time to work. Um, But that doesn't always come out too well when you just you don't take your time. So that's when she comes in and sets the table up with a lot that I've done, whether it's the book, whether it's my business, helping me build a website, so much stuff that I do. My wife set the table for me, and vice versa. I got a skill set, or I got whatever it is. We both got certain things that we're better than each other at, and we just use that as as a team. That's what we do, and that's marriage. That's marriage in general. That's what's keeping us going. So it just kind of poured into what we do as well with our businesses. We just kind of use the same philosophy in our marriage when it comes to our business. Hey, babe, I'm not sure, but I don't know how to do all that, man. And she'll come show me, or if I don't feel like, it's just vice versa, man. That's just how we work.
That's amazing. It's beautiful. That actually is motivating me. I'm thinking of this would be a complete, different series or episode where I go find a couple of, various couples of different levels and just let y'all give more insight. Like we have no shortage of singles that'll hop on social media and talk about what they need, what they acquire, what they are. It's like, it sounds good, but it doesn't seem to be, transitioning to real life. But
that's the hottest topic right now, on social media. Man.
And it never stops. And then even worse, the versions of all these love shows are reality TV, and it's like people forget reality TV is not reality at all, very scripted. But for some reason, at any opportunity we forget and say, I want this, which I don't know why you want that. So I don't know, just a little spin again. It's talked about all the time, but kind of how I always operate. I'm not really inventing too much new. I'm just trying to do the best. Something's clearly missing, right? So maybe, I can be part of those people making a small difference. But y'all are absolutely a very good example of, what this is being done right. And then even going back to what I know a lot of the conversations I have with is, one thing I don't get caught up on is acting, whatever we're seeing of people, like there isn't anything under the hood of any level. So one, like it does take work. We don't just show up, smile in front of each other at the public events and, wear matching outfits. Like there's way more, to successful relationships than that. But in this, so that's for that. As far as this entrepreneur space and really, mainly today's episode, talking with you, I'm just glad, that you genuinely know that you can acknowledge that, how strong she is and how integral she is for what you do. And then, you can accurately and with pride say that you are, very, very much empowering her. Like y'all got into a union that makes sense for both of you personally, professionally, across the board.
Oh yeah, we call each other teammates, co-pilots, man. Like this ship I'm on, it ain't gonna rock the same if she ain't next to me, man. It's just everything I do, whether it's the business, my passion, whatever you name it.
Right.
If there's anything that I'm doing, just know my wife is attached in some kind of way. Whether she's holding something down while I'm out there doing it, or while she's doing what she's doing, and I'm holding something down over here. That's how it works. There's nothing that I'm doing that I just started doing where I can say, you know what, I did this by myself. Nothing at all. At all.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. All right, definitely. No, I hope somebody caught something off of that. It would be a shame if you did.
I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how I would think it's supposed to be,
Yeah. No, absolute facts. So we're coming towards pretty much wrapping it up, like giving them a repeat of the things, where they can find you in your immediate products. But maybe there's something that I'm missing, a topic or a point that you wanted to throw out there. So if that's the case, I just leave the floor open for you. If not, it's all good.
Oh man, well, I'll just leave you with this, man. And, everybody wants to do something and be a part of something, and there's something for everybody to do. And I know a lot of people give me so much love for what I do, and I get a lot of praise. I love it and I appreciate it. But it took a lot of this and a lot of trying that and a lot of trying this. We all got a job, and we don't. Some of us don't know what it is yet. And I would say just go out there and keep on just trying to get involved. And eventually something's gonna stick. Because I see a lot of frustration right now, man. I see a lot of annoyance right now in our community in particular, you know, with each other, and people just not knowing where they belong, you know. And you know, I didn't start off working with the youth. I started off as doing poetry. I started off as a nervous poet that didn't know, and now here I am doing all this stuff because I gave it a shot. I gave something a shot, and I was always open-minded. You know, okay, I'll go do that. I'll go do that, and just led into this and led into that. So I tell people, man, we all got a job to fill, man, and sometimes you might have to go through different things to find exactly what it is, man. Just go out there. Don't be scared to fail, you know, because you know it happens. Don't be scared to hit your head and you know get some bumps and bruises. It might happen, man. But all it's gonna do is prepare you, make you stronger for when you finally do know what it is, and when you're finally doing it, you know, you'll be all swole and tough by then.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So just go out there, man, and put in the work, roll your sleeves up, find something, man. Find something to do, find your niche, find your lane, and when you find the lane, go hard, man.
That's a fact. Yeah. I mean, you didn't just wake up at May of 2020 and said, "Yep, this is it. I'm making this company. I'm writing this book. I'm gonna start writing this book. It's done in October." Like some of the seeds was planted, you know, as early as poetry. You know, obviously, you know, the various things that happen with you in your upbringing. But like, yeah, we have a lot of people who are a little bit too intimidated, more so than they should be. And a lot of people who are only willing to step out on the guaranteed win. And you're depriving not only yourself, but the people who can be touched by these gifts that you have. So that's why, you know, you say somebody like yourself consistently, you know, I can vouch for it. I've seen somebody consistently giving love, consistently getting support. Like you talk about Phoenix, you know, you are one of those names, you know, along with many other people, but you're one of those known people out there. And that came from work. That didn't come from being born there. That it came from making a difference, being determined to make a difference, putting in that work, inspiring other people, encouraging them, you know, to do their own thing or pick up something new. And now you got, you know, you're part of the reason. Fortunately, not the only reason, because we know it's the village, but you are part of the reason.
Me being female, I take it personal. You know,
there you
I'm
go.
just not somebody who wants to, you know, be a mover and shaker and do something. Actually, I was a kid. I was a kid in these streets. I used to walk around South Phoenix. Went to school in South Phoenix. I walked around West Phoenix, Maryville, and lived. These are the places I actually walked these streets, and you know, a lot of experience. So I take this community stuff personally. You know what I mean? I take it, you know, not to say that somebody can't come out here and take it personally, but I take it that much more personal because this is my actual stomping grounds.
Yes.
I live in Levine. I live 10 minutes from where I used to walk around at as a kid in South Phoenix, you know what I mean, and play around at. So is my wife, born and raised. She never even left Phoenix. She never left. She never lived anywhere else. So we take this very personal, man. Like, we're not playing with this. And that's something that helps us. So, man, we just try to stay humble, show love, and, you know, work with the people. And again, stay humble, man. Just stay humble. Not humble as in, you know, dim your light all the time for other people. You know what I mean? But stay humble as in just know that everybody's working hard at something. And, you know, we don't know how much time we got here on earth. So stay humble at whatever you're doing and just keep getting better.
That's an absolute fact. You know, and I actually, you know, just quickly on that, I'm going to go look up the true definition of humble because I don't think it means that. I think that's one of those, you know, there's a lot of words out here and just as a community, as a culture, we associate this as automatically that. And sometimes it's not even that at all. We just somehow, I told you that and your mom said this and my uncle said that. And now we just, you know, believe it without actual merit. But
staying humble means shut up, you know.
No, I don't think that, and that's not what we're suggesting at all. But some powerful, plenty of powerful, insightful thoughts, you know, that you were sharing today. So first off, you are again the owner of Useful Hands PHX and LLC. Where are the different avenues that somebody can go to find you, contact you, spread the word?
I'm a Facebook guy. You know what I mean? Brother Anthony, you got to spell it with the A at the end, not Brother Anthony. That's one thing I'm known for, man. Like, I don't like when people call me Brother Anthony. Like, it's Brother Anthony, man. It's for a reason. It's Brother Anthony with an A. So I'm a Facebook guy. I'm on Instagram, you know, I'm in my mid-30s, so I'm not really, you know, into the TikTok and, you know, I don't have a Twitter either, none of that. But I'm a Facebook guy, man. That's where I'm at all the time, and that's where you can find me at. UsefulHandsPHX.com. I can't wait to be a man.com. You know, follow me, man. Hit me. Follow me. I'll follow you on Instagram. You know, I know that's how that works. And just keep in touch and keep on showing us love, spreading this love, and sharing ideas, and you know, contribute to what we can.
Right, absolutely. Now I'm in my late 30s and I do mess with that, but that's okay. It's not about. It's not about.
There I go judging. You know what I'm saying? Just look, I'm just saying. I didn't catch the wave, man. I didn't catch. I got, you know, when you got a bunch of nieces and nephews and little brothers and stuff, it makes you that much more like, you know, I don't know, man.
Right.
I got so many. I got so many nieces and nephews that's on it. It makes me kind of, I don't know if that's for me.
Right. Right. You're going to go in there, right? You're going to go in there and out the gate be like the 11th best person in the family. It's like, man, I ain't here for all that.
But you know what? I've been thinking about doing that. I've been thinking about making a TikTok. I've been thinking
No, I came to learn, honestly. I came to learn from other, other people doing, influencing for whatever it is that they do. Like, being that it has now become popular, that's another way to get, views to whatever it is you're trying to do. So it's like,
dances? Do you do all the dances?
No, I have an account. I have no posts. And if I do, it will not be, mine will be, I don't understand the syncing thing, why it's so popular. And it'll be like 60 seconds, 60 seconds of, of whatever bar I got. So I'll never be top page because I'm not doing no dance.
We missed the cutoff. We're not the cool kids anymore. I'm accepting it. I'm accepting that I'm not the cool generation right now, man.
Right. But it's okay to have like all of this available and get your little cut or your percentage or your little piece. That's still a good, like 1 or 2 more views. Just say what, the website is about, and the book again, I Can't Wait to Be a Man. And you said, I Can't Wait to Be a Man.com.
Yes, sir. I Can't Wait to Be a Man.com. That's where you can purchase the book. As well as Facebook, I Can't Wait to Be a Man. You'll find it on there as well. And, I'm trying to get that book in as many of the hands of young boys as I can for the rest of my life. I'm always going to have that book available. So, I'm not sure how many I've sold so far. It's been a lot, but I'm trying to get this book in the hands of as many as young boys as I can for the rest of my life, because I feel like there's a bunch of information they can use while on their journey to manhood. Talking about chivalry, talking about standing up for yourself, talking about being respectable, talking about responsibilities, and we're making it look cool. So we just want to get that information to as many boys as we can.
That's dope. That's dope. We like to hear it. We love to hear it for sure. So yes, absolutely. This is a great way to get back into, again, like I said, I don't know, like my new season. I actually have never called any of the other, previous what I did a season, but I just feel like that's a good way to remind myself we're going to have some continuity with this. Like, I know a lot of amazing people personally. I've been blessed to just somebody found me, or I found an organization, in 2 weeks later recorded with them. But like, in the essence, I know a lot of dope people personally that are doing some things that I know have, and I even feel that I know have a message. You are proof positive. You are the first one. As we conclude 2021 and go into 2022. So, this is definitely the last one. And I appreciate you because you've been on my head. Because I said, I don't remember when I first put it out there, but I like that about you. You're not somebody I can throw out something and half-ass it. You were like, hey man, what was that? Remember when you said, and it was never nothing personal because I knew that I needed to get to it. But for you to have been patient this whole time, encouraging, and knowing that I had one for sure in the chamber, it's an honor to finally have gotten this done, and it was absolutely a pleasure on my side.
Accountability, keeping each other accountable is a big part of brotherhood. That's what brotherhood is, man. Thank you for using your platform, for utilizing your platform. Giving me your mic and your stage to get on and spread my message, man. That's what you're doing. So what you're doing is very important, and I thank you, brother.
I appreciate it. So here we are, everybody. Once again, this is Brotha Anthony. Remind me, I'm on a trip. Hands, Useful Hands. There we go. Useful Hands LLC. I Can't Wait to Be a Man. The book is out. go support, go check out all of these. Let everybody know, because you let everybody know, then the people that need it, they're going to follow up with them. And that's all it's so easy to retweet, share, say the word. You know, somebody that could benefit from it didn't even know yet. And that's the snowball that turns into the avalanche. So, you know, so Brother Anthony, thank you so much, man. Hope you enjoy, enjoy the rest of the year, be blessed and all that, and prosper.
Yes, sir, man. I'm going to go snuggle up with my wife and girls, man. Find a movie to watch.
As you should. Let me get out your way there. All right, now.
All right, brother.